Alright guys, so starting off, what's in the box? Alright guys, so first and foremost we have our turbo power charger. Next we have our micro USB data cable. We have our SIM card ejector tool, and we have some Motorola booklets right here. Starting off with the build, we have this beautiful wave design on the back in a color Motorola calls mineral blue. In my opinion, this looks like turquoise more than anything, but it definitely is eye-catching and really nice to look at, to say the least. We also have a rear camera setup that holds our 12 megapixel shooter, capable of laser autofocus, and our LED flash as well. Just below that, we have our fingerprint sensor that holds a little Motorola insignia. Taking a look at the front of the device, we have our 6-inch HD Plus panel that actually looks really colorful and enticing considering it's only 720p. Yes, 720p isn't as good as 1080p, but on this device the average user would definitely be content with consuming all types of media and video content. Right side of the device we have our volume up and down button and our textured power button. Left side of the device we have our SIM tray. Top of the phone we have our 3.5mm head jack, and we have our noise cancelling mic. Bottom of the phone we have our noise cancelling mic and our micro USB port. Also at the top of the device we have our 8 megapixel front facing camera. We have our headset, we have our LED flash, and we have our proximity light sensor. Now we don't actually have a notification light due to the always on display. Now we don't have any special stylus or certain thing that defines the phone, but I think Moto Actions is really cool. For example, there's many different features such as 3 fingers to screenshot, chop twice for flashlight, and swipe to shrink the screen, just as a few examples. Another thing that's pretty cool in here is we actually have 5Gs, so if you guys do have a 5 GHz band, it is going to work 100%. So as far as the specifications go, they are actually pretty nice. Now first off, we have a 1.4 GHz octa-core processor, and we are using the Snapdragon 435, so that is going to accommodate for the battery. Not that it needs it, because we do have a 5000 mAh battery, but we also have 32 GB of internal storage and 3 GB of RAM. So you guys aren't going to have any problems multitasking, having a ton of different windows open, and many of you are actually looking for 3 GB of RAM, so this might be the device for you. Next we have Android 8.0 on here, so we do have Oreo on this device, which is pretty nice because it is one of the latest softwares out right now. Now there is no word yet that we are going to get Android Pie, but I'm honestly staying optimistic. Now, as far as the battery goes, we do have a 5000 mAh battery, which is crazy. It's just honestly really huge. And this is going to be charging via micro USB, but we do actually have a turbocharger, as I said before, inside of here. So charge is pretty fast, and you can pretty much use this for a day and a half on moderate use, and you should be good. Now, as far as the call quality goes, I'm in the Los Angeles area using Metro PCS, obviously, on this device, and haven't had any drop calls yet, and it's been sounding pretty decent through the headset that's on here. And another thing, like most Metro PCS devices, we do have video calling and Wi-Fi calling in our native dialer. Onto text messaging. Text messaging has been fine. I've been sending and receiving them flawlessly, and I have to say the haptic feedback with vibrations has been really nice on this device. Here are also some of the emojis you should expect once you get this device. So if there are any gamers out there, this device is definitely going to be for you. Number one, it has a 5000 mAh battery, but number two, it runs all of these games very well. We have Temple Run 2 right here. We have Asphalt 9. We can also run PUBG on here, which is honestly really surprising since we only have a 435 Snapdragon processor in here. And we can also run fighting games such as Tekken as well. This is probably one of my favorite games out there, and the experience is going to be great because the screen and the graphics look great and they sound absolutely amazing. So as far as the camera, pretty minimalistic with an 8 megapixel front facing camera with LED flash, which is pretty cool. And we have a 12 megapixel rear facing camera with laser autofocus. We do have some other modes on here. For photo modes we have panorama, and for video modes we have slow motion and YouTube live. Now I already did a full comparison between the LG Stylo 4 and the Moto E5 Plus, so if you guys want to go and check that out, check it out. But I am going to put up some sample photos for you guys here. So what is the final verdict on this device? Is this device worth the money? So if you guys actually want to go ahead and port over from another company that is not associated with Metro PCS and or T-Mobile, this device is going to cost $49. Now if you guys do upgrade, it's going to be $149. So is it worth it? I honestly think it's worth the price. You get a pretty good screen, you have a decent camera, and you get a really nice gaming experience and amazing speaker. Probably the best speaker I've ever heard on a budget device. Not to mention 3 gigabytes of RAM and a 5,000 milliamp battery that will last you pretty much a day and a half on moderate use. So pretty crazy specifications right there. Definitely give me your opinions in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this device, especially if you do own this device. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, please leave a like down below, as well as subscribing if you guys are not part of the tech gang already. Also hit that notification bell if you guys want to be notified every time I do upload a new video. This has been Stefan from TechRight. Peace out, tech gang.